Well, again, this was a 4.1 magnitude earthquake that happened, and we do want to show some old video that we have. We went through our archives and pulled some of the footage that we have from the past. And first off, we're going to show you a 1973 newspaper clipping. So as you can see, it says the quake shakes up area and residents, and this is from 1973. So this was a 4.7 magnitude earthquake that happened in Alcoa. Also a 1987 earthquake newspaper that was a 4.3 in Vonore.
Yep, and that 4.7, Sam, is important to note that that was the strongest that we have ever felt here in East Tennessee. So just a couple points away from what we felt today, but you can only imagine the difference between this 4.1 and 4.7. I mean, these news articles, they're very interesting to read because things like this don't happen too frequently around here.
Exactly. So that was 1987. Now we want to show you 1998. We actually did a story on an earthquake that happened then. So let's go ahead and listen into what it was like in 1998.
And over here, I have old flue covers that I worried about.
When the earth moved this morning, so did Mary Ellen Howard's bed. When the shaking stopped, she started thinking about her antiques.
I was just scared to death. I just came running down the stairs to check everything, and I looked around and I said, you know, everything's still up in place.
The quake did set off alarms in Oak Ridge's National Laboratory. The shaking automatically shut off the research reactor. Oak Ridge officials say no one was in any danger and operations are back to normal. The town's still talking about the trembling ground, those who knew about it anyway.
Usually you'd think you'd feel something. If it was a strong enough earthquake, you'd think we'd feel it, but we didn't feel nothing.
I don't know, you just don't expect earthquakes to happen here.
Actually, East Tennessee does get a good number of earthquakes. The average is about 1 per week, but most are so small we never feel them.
The earthquakes of this size occur somewhere in the region 2 to 3 times a year.
This is how the quake looked to seismic sensors. UT professor Rick Williams says we're in one of the 2 largest seismic zones east of the Rocky Mountains, but he says we don't need to brace for the big one just yet.
We could have an earthquake much larger, about a magnitude 4.5 at any time. Still, that's not large enough to be life-threatening.
From time to time we've gotten them, but nothing like this.
Mary Ellen Howard hopes it's a long time before something like this happens again. In Oak Ridge, Laura Hatch, Action 10 News.